Hello there! From behind the yellow line, this is Trammin episode 162. My name is Kirk, and today I'm joined by you, the TramFam. Our Big Thunder topic of the week is the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of the intro.
Hello everyone, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. As a courtesy to other passengers, we ask that there be no eating, drinking, or smoking on board. In just a few moments, we will begin our trip into the Disneyland Resort news and topic of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this tram is ready to depart. Driver, you are clear.
Welcome back to Trammin, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm your host for the day, Kirk. That's me. I haven't done solo in a while, but Rain has a medical issue that is serious enough where you want to send him good vibes, but he's also okay enough where I was bothering him about episode stuff. So Rain's okay. Everything's fine. He is just unable to record. No way around it. He will be back soon. But yeah, I was going to say we're pulling for him. He's okay. He's okay. But yes, normally it is Kirk and Rain. So if this is your first time here, which are some words I will say once again soon, maybe go back and listen to what the show's regularly like with me and Rain. But let me say those words and let me tell you something, little britches, with mousekeeping. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast where Rain and I normally talk about the Disneyland Resort through and only through our eyes. To catch up on jokes, references, context, and backstory, check out our lore page on trammin.com/lore. For our recommendations for Disneyland, DCA, and more, check out trammin.com/rex. For artwork to make your own Trammin merch, visit trammin.com/art, and that is for your personal use only. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, comment, and review us wherever you can, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Rain's favorite YouTubes. For a visual guide of the show, follow @Trammin Podcast on Instagram, and to write into the show, head to trammin.com/ask. If you use Discord and would like access to our server, let us know. It's a lot of fun in there. You can find all these links and lore on trammin.com. Yes, you can. It's time for Your Right, in which members of the TramFam write in with corrections and comments, just like you can, at trammin.com/ask. But before I cue up that music,
Kev's concoctions with Kirk and Rain.
So, my brother Kev normally concocts things, which means he brews us some sort of beer. He has not done so yet, but the comeback is coming. But in the meantime, he wanted me to try this, I believe, on the air. So let's get into that. Today, I've got Blue Point Brewing Company's Neapolitan Ice Cream Stout, which is an imperial stout, 9% alcohol by volume. This is a large can. It does not say how large. I should know. 16 ounces, 1 pint. It's got rich chocolate, jammy berry, strawberries, and cream. It says contains wheat, but no milk. So, as it should not. I know they add lactose sometimes to these things, but this is a beautiful, sweaty can that I'm gonna wipe down a little bit. But yeah, let's crack one open with the boys. All right, this smells like an average beer, but it is brown, very brown. I should have brought a cup up here to show you guys, but to good health and to Rain and to all of you. Cheers, everyone. Clink. Whoa. Okay, the first sip, I mean, I've already got these flavors, but let me take another sip because, the first sip is very shocking. That is a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, for sure. Oh, here it says Imperial Stout with strawberry cacao nibs and natural flavors. So yeah, this is pretty good. 9%, although I did eat maybe an hour ago. So we'll see how that goes if we get a little tipsy on the show. One more sip for the road. This is delightful. And it goes down real easy, which is a little bit concerning. I'm going to actually move it a little closer to me because taking sips is harder when you're alone with no one to fill in the silence. I just want to give another shout out to this coaster Kimmy gave me. But let's get on with the show. And you're right. And I'm going to cue up that corrections music, if I please. Beth C. writes in about the satine meat. She says it's seitan, not satine. So what happened here? What happened here is Rain said satine, and my brain thought it saw SATEEN on the menu at Modern Times Leisure Town, RIP. I looked it up. It did say seitan or seitan, whatever. It's I think it's seitan. I'm not saying whatever to Beth. Beth, thank you for that correction. Thank you for writing in. Katie G writes in, just listening to the food and wine episode, and that we had it so good about the guns on Rise. I know a former CM who worked on building it at Walt Disney World, and he said they are working on a fix. Who knows if we'll ever see it? Yeah, we may discuss that next week. But thank you for writing in, and thank you for the hope. Rebellions are built on hope, after all. JD writes in about our post on Instagram. Go follow us on Instagram, everyone, for a visual guide of the show. And he says, the pork belly goodness next to Rain's kryptonite, which is mac salad. He says, why is it so much better than the pork belly at Bengal Barbecue? Dude, it's so much better than the one at Bengal Barbecue. Thank you for writing in. And on that note, Eduardo writes in, whoa, 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 siren, wee woo, wee woo. Whoever said that the glazed barbecue pork belly was not worth it needs to apologize. It was one of the best things I tried at the festival. That and the delicious Mickey Snickers macaron. Anyways, hey Trammin, I have a question. Since I go to the Disneyland Resort only on weekdays, do they still use their searchlights? Is it a weekend thing or a summer thing? Just wondering because it makes the park feel like an even more special place. I don't know if this fireworks show employs it, but when they do shows that have the searchlights, they still do use them. So they're still there. Thank you, Eduardo, for writing in. Joel M. writes in, hey, Kirk and Rain. Writing in about the song Rain was tired of listening to because it was actually me singing. It's Settled Down by No Doubt, and it's definitely a nostalgia hit for me, but understand the annoyance of repeated songs. Also excited to learn more about Lorcana. Got to start training for the Trammin tryouts. So, love No Doubt. Love No Doubt. No doubt about that. Lorcana. I think I have decided I am going to purchase the cards. I will not use the words I used with Rain, but I want to be that guy. I'm going to play the cards with the bare necessities. I don't want to put them in slipcovers. I just want the bare cards. One, plastic sucks. Two, like, I'm not going to sell them. Three, it's like funny. And Rain said, oh, I have messages on my computer because I am an Apple boy. Let's see. Rain. He said, bear cards? Question mark, exclamation. That's called a interrobang when it's one symbol. He says, can I at least buy you some clear sleeves? It'll pain me. Yeah, so no, Rain, you can't. I want the bare necessities. So I'm just gonna go just plain cards. I'll take care of them. I don't want a deck box either. I want a nice like wooden box. Maybe that'll be my first wood project. Make a box for Lorcana. We'll see. I'll take another sip as I fade us out. Let's get in some news. Got some headlines for you guys. First up, in the end, does the refurbishment even matter, Horn? Matterhorn closed for refurbishment once again. It will reopen June 2nd. So, Freddie, friend of the show, been on the show, said Matterhorn's like sinking into the ground. Not like, I don't think actually, but it's falling apart. It's an old thing. I don't know how many more times they can fix this thing. My vote, my actual real vote, is tear it down. Tear it down. Okay. Make it even bigger. And then we can make the castle even bigger. Because the castle can't, it can't be taller than Matterhorn. So let's just up, keep going. Like take over the lagoon and make like an Everest, But put it all inside. No like weird show building thing like Everest has. Go look at the back side of Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom. Happy 25th birthday, Animal Kingdom. It's kind of weird looking. But yeah, Matterhorn closed once again. Next headline is, I had it and I didn't write it down. I think I was going to call it Magical Mayhem or something like that. No. Maybe. We'll call it Magical Mayhem. The Disneyland Resort has been experiencing some issues with a few things in its infrastructure. On Thursday, people were not let into the gates or the parking lot because seemingly Galaxy, the system that runs so much of the parks, but especially the ticketing system, was down. So if you were in a park, they told you do not hop. You will not get in. Just stay. And a lot of people just got stuck at the gate until it went up. And some people were like, just let them in. I'm like, yeah, that would work for like 10 minutes. Absolutely not. The parking, I think they let people just park for free. Like they gave them a pass that said no payment and just let them park, which that's cool. That's whatever, right? Like it doesn't matter. It's free parking. That's not going to last forever. And they got the system up, let people in. But then Friday, there were like extensive power outages. So a bunch of rides were down. My cousin Tanya was there and texted me about it. Rain was there for a while, and he'll talk about that when he's back. But yeah, they had some issues, and these issues will be discussed more in episode 164 of this show, Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. The next headline is A Nightmare Phantasmic. Murphy, the aptly named Maleficent dragon animatronic, was seen spewing hydraulic fluid, which is highly flammable, during Phantasmic, which is a very flame-full show. And they say he, but it's she because it's Maleficent, got lit on fire. The show got emergency stopped. They let her burn. No one was hurt at all. The island was evacuated. The sections were evacuated, like the near it, due to smoke. They pushed some people to Galaxy's Edge, some people to Frontierland. And Phantasmic, I assume, is delayed for a while. They were dismantling the whole thing. They do have a built-in B mode of the projection, so they might do that. The only change is that at first, like all effects across the world were going to be halted, but now the only change is the Maleficent float in Magic Kingdom is going to be like put on hold, or it's not going to spew flames at least. But their Phantasmic was working the other day. It's like a head on a stick. It's not like a giant animatronic dragon. But yeah, so I assume they will rebuild it because it's Phantasmic's a big deal and it's like here to stay. So I can't imagine it like completely going away. But as far as I could tell, that's it for the news. But I can almost guarantee you guys, I'm recording this Monday because it needs to be most likely edited by me Tuesday. If not, thank you, Rain, for editing. But either way, it needed to be done today. on Monday. They are going to release the Star Wars foodie guide. I guarantee that. If they don't this week, I mean, that would be cool. Hold it till next week because that'll be a little Star Wars celebration for us. And don't worry, it's not about Star Wars celebration. But yeah, we do not have the foodie guide as of right now. So this here's our Big Thunder topic of the week. The bare necessities. I was going to call this Kirk's bare necessities because it sounds really funny. And it was going to be like all my things. But the TramFam came through, got a ton of write-ins from everyone. I did have to take the post down early. I'm sorry. But let's get right into the number one thing everyone must do on their trip. The one thing. Some of you cheat a little bit, and I let it slide, and I'll let you know why. But yes, the number one thing that you just got to do. You go, and it's your go-to. But go-to is not a good title. So, first up, Robert writes in with riding the tram. But I think he was just pandering because that's a great answer. Robert, he did have a little write-in later. But let's get into the different categories that I've split this up into. First up is the food in Disneyland. And I'm not supposed to pick favorites, but this is my favorite write-in. Dane writes in, there's only one guarantee when I go to the parks. I'm going to eat. The food will vary. That is a great way to start this episode, Dane. Yes, a lot of us go just to eat dinner at the parks. And yeah, that's the must. You must get the food, whatever the food may be. But there were some clear winners. Emiliano writes in, eat a fried chicken meal in a booth at Plaza Inn, no matter what. 1M also wrote in about the fried chicken, and that is my choice too. If I just had one thing I could do, or one thing I could eat, it's the fried chicken. And admittedly, it's been a while. But that's the bare necessity of Disneyland. The fried chicken at Plaza Inn. When all else fails, when the world ends, when Florida is underwater and Universal is the number one theme park, Plaza Inn will have fried chicken dinner. And that's something we can depend on because it is exactly what we need. But Rain doesn't write in. Rain's just part of this episode. Corn dog is the most likely, he says. Rain is not even joking. Rain gets the corn dog many times a year. There will be festivals going on. There will be seasonal things going on. He goes to the corn dog. The corn dog, it can't hurt you. It can't. I don't think I've ever been disappointed by a Disneyland corn dog. I've been disappointed by a lot of things at Disneyland. Even the fried chicken dinner, it's not always number one, right? Sometimes the chicken's dry. Sometimes the biscuit is often dry. But put some honey on that. But the corn dog is always good. So that is Rain's Disneyland food. As for DCA, I actually don't know if I have a bare necessity food at DCA. It's basically whatever's going on. I don't have a go-to. Like I can't even pull up a restaurant that I'm like, yeah, let's just eat here. Like I love Lamplight, but that's not it, right? I don't even, I did think about this a while, but yeah, there's nothing dependable. It's probably like Paradise Garden Grill because they've always got stuff, but you can kind of just depend on there being a festival. So that's what it's going to be for me. But for Rain, right now, the award wieners seasonal cubano. That thing needs to stay because I think that would become my go-to. That would become like the holiday turkey sandwich of DCA because that thing is so filling. It is massive. It's a monstrosity. It doesn't even need the hot dog, but it has one in there anyway. But yeah, it's really just absolutely delicious. If you can still get your hands on one, I would. But Jackson writes in, and I knew this is how he would write in. Lamplight, hands down. Lamplight is the DCA food. Like besides festivals, whatever, it's like, it's the one thing I can recommend to literally everyone. There is no like, oh, do you like this? Do you like that? Where should I eat in DCA? You should go to Lamplight. It is the saving grace of Pixar Pier. I think it is like the crown jewel of DCA. You'd think it would be Carthay, and Carthay is wonderful. And the old school lounge was probably my go-to. Like let's roll back the clock a little bit. If I could turn back time, I'd go to the Carthay Circle Lounge and get the twice cooked Vietnamese street tacos because those are spectacular. They're still there, but there are fewer, and you can't just like walk in all the time. But those would be my number one. But yes, Lamplight Lounge, their fries, phenomenal. Their drinks, phenomenal, and we'll get back to that. Their hamburger is just shockingly good. The salmon PLT is awesome. The lobster nachos, the surf and turf nachos, chicken nachos, steak nachos, underrated. Potato skins, which aren't potato skins, which is honestly a good thing at that point. The donuts, the seasonal items, the teaser, the open ocean. Lamplight Lounge is like exactly what DCA needs. It's exactly what you need. So let's move on to the shows of the parks. In Disneyland, this is actually, I thought I wouldn't have one because I'm not like a big shows guy, right? I am realizing the video is crooked and it's too late to fix that. But, oh well, I'm sorry I pointed that out to you. So, and I tried to fix it earlier. I guess it didn't take. Number one show for me, the Dapper Dans. If I see them, I stop. I think there's one time I haven't because we were late for something. But the Dapper Dans are what Main Street is. They're what Disneyland is. Like I know the Disneyland band is up there, but they're delightful. The Dapper Dans are a great start to the day because you're always walking in there. They know it. They're very talented. They take you through all the different songs of Disney, of course, and they're funny. They're cheesy. They are like good, clean fun is what I would call them, and you can't go wrong with the Dapper Dans. I don't want to like call anyone out here, but if you don't like them, like why? I don't understand. But I guess let me know, let us know, and we'll read it on the next show. Why wouldn't you like the Dapper Dans? But Dapper Dans, necessity. But for Rain, it's Tale of the Lion King, which I still have not seen. And it sounds like I really do need to see it. I think Food and Wine is winding down. I think as of airing, it's over. And there isn't anything else. I mean, there's Disney 100, but we don't have anything till Halloween unless, what did Rain say? Like arts, art festival of the arts or like Flower and Garden. I don't think we're getting that. They would have announced by now. But yeah, I think it's time to eat some holiday turkey sandwiches, eat some fried chicken, and go watch Tale of the Lion King and get that potato. I don't have much to say about it, but I know many people have cried at Tale of the Lion King. So I do hope it sticks around. I think that is a very cool thing that should stick around if they're not going to do like a Mickey thing, right? So here we are at Robert's actual write-in. He says it's a little too soon, but his bare necessity must do of a show is to see Fantasmic. So Robert, I'm sorry. I hope by the time you're back, things are okay with Fantasmic. But yeah, I was talking about it with Victor, one of my employees. He's just like, it's so good. And he's still a little angry that Peter Pan is gone. But they should bring Peter Pan back, right? Like it wouldn't be too tough. Just stop with my compass, you know? We don't need that. We need Peter Pan. But yes, Fantasmic is a lot of people's favorite. We've said on the show before, Rain and I have showed up, and there was this group of girls who would watch it like once a week, and they would just sing all the songs and do all the. They knew Mickey's hand motions, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. But yeah, it's like they do it. They would sit there like an hour before it started, right up front. So I totally understand Fantasmic. It's a little long for me, I think, and I've seen it enough times. I'm not I'm not a rewatcher with things. And I guess that's what I like about the Dapper Dans. They are different every time. Like you'll hear the same songs, but they use the different seasoning. You know, sometimes ground mustard, sometimes paprika, sometimes some cumin. You never know. But let's move on to DCA. They're around enough where I'm going to say Fat Cat Swinger. It was the Mariachi Divas. But Fat Cat Swinger, man, they're so good. Mark and Marco are just they seem like they love life, and they make it so fun to be there. They want you to join in, but not like in an awkward way. They sing, they dance, they give each other the light to do their little solos. They're great together. The whole band comes out, like they have guitar solos and like bass solos. And if you haven't seen Fat Cat Swinger, they're probably even more accessible than the Dapper Dans, I would say, because they're not a cappella or anything. They have like music playing, and it's all twists. It's twists on Disney songs, but even more upbeat and more fun. And how could you go wrong with that? Right? Rain's choice, though, whatever is at the Hyperion. Rain loves musicals, and the Hyperion is always musicals, right? He just loves to sit down in a theater and watch people on a stage with all that comes with that, right? Like there's a little bit of, I was going to say play acting, like of course. There's a suspension of disbelief that you need, but then you focus on the talent of the actors. And yeah, it's something I like at Disneyland. I'm not too big on musicals. In case you're new here, I hate Hamilton. That was a big deal back in the day. I do not like it at all, but I loved Aladdin. I never saw Frozen, actually, so I guess it's time to watch it on YouTube because it's not coming back. But yeah, I totally get this. Whatever was at the Hyperion is Rain's pick. So let's get on to drinks. And with that, I will take another sip. This is really good, Kev. Thank you. Okay. Let's go to Disneyland. There's no alcohol. Oh, there is some alcohol in Disneyland. Kind of. For me, it's the blue milk. It's been a long time since I've gotten it. I think times are just different. And there's just more to eat and more to do. But I miss it. And that was like, I have to go to Black Spire Outpost, what's it called? Galaxy's Edge, and get a blue milk. And it still hits. I think I forget how well it hits. And it's more fun to drink with friends, to take the picture, to just taste something that in your mind is otherworldly, you know? And I still stand blue milk. Green milk, no thank you. But 1991 RKC writes in, they say, call me RC, but we have like multiple RCs now. So they say jet juice from Oga's. So I'm going to look up the menu, see what that is. And I was going to do this earlier, but I forgot. So let's look up jet juice from Oga's Cantina. Alrighty. Blurgfire is, a great name for a drink. Jet juice, Maker's Mark bourbon, Chile liqueur, pomegranate liqueur, white grape juice, and lemon juice. I'm like on board with bourbon and lemon, but the Chile. It sounds spicy and I'm out. But I could see this like, this is a unique drink and I understand. So shout out. But shout out to the Up Nub, the best drink at Oga's. Okay. Thank you for writing in, RC. But Tiffy Luna writes in, getting a cold brew, trying a new one, or going to the Black Calf. And Black Calf is the cold brew with the cream cheese foam topping with Cocoa Puffs. And that's Kimmy's go-to for sure. That is on a day where we're there early, I think that's a Kimmy must. She's got to go get that. And I have nothing against it. I just don't look for it. But it is very good. And I believe it's a lot of people's go-tos. So yeah, here's the fun part about these types of episodes. I only let the listeners have one, but then Rain and I get one per category because it's our show. We can do whatever we want. And speaking of Rain, the lemonade light. And that's because he chose... Wait. Rain. He had something else here, and I don't see it. He says lemonade light, but he did write the frozen apple juice, which I know is his absolute favorite. The highlights are gone too. But yeah, he loves the frozen apple juice that you can find in Fantasyland. Lemonade light. Rain, I don't know what that was. Come on. Frozen apple juice is a drink. You can have that for sure. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, I got to say. You got to get that and wait in line, That's the way to do it. But in DCA, for myself and for Rain, and for all of you out there, it's got to be the open ocean with a splash. We need this. This is, Rain says the open ocean. Just wish it was easier to get, but maybe that's a good thing. I think it is a good thing, Rain, because one, it costs $18.05 before tip. And you could drink a couple of those. Got a lot of sugar. Gonna get you buzzed. You could get drunk off these things. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, there is the to-go bar, which has been open more lately. Real easy to get. Guys, Open Ocean with a Splash is the official drink of Trammin. This is at Lamplight Lounge. Upstairs, downstairs, wherever you want. And it is a blue slushy that just hits you where you didn't think it was going to hit you. But yeah, I'm sure if Jackson could completely break his choice down, say Open Ocean with a Splash and the Chilaquiles from Lamplight Lounge. But yes, like we said, Lamplight Lounge is I don't know if we deserve it or we deserve more things like it. That's up to you. But yes, if I could have one drink in the whole resort over and over again, it'd be the Open Ocean for sure. But Sebastian says, for DCA, I need to get the regulator from Pim's. And Ozzy actually said that he needs to go to Pim's. This is Pim Tasting Lab. So let's look up the regulator. Let's see the regulator. Patron Silver Tequila, Golden Road Mango Cart Wheat Ale. That's Mango Cart, everyone. With mango and habanero syrups and mango flavor-filled boba. This sounds like a bit much, to be honest. Sounds a little sweet, which I like a good sweet drink. We were just talking about the Open Ocean. But I think what this episode is showing me is I need to try some of your musts, right? If this is something or if these are the things you all have to do, I think I and Rain have to try. We got to go more often together so we could try these things together. But yeah, good stuff. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. The rides. You all wrote in about the rides, and I totally understand. You go to Disneyland for the rides, right? Like we go for the food and whatever, but when you go, you got to go on one ride. And not every time, but you do. So, let's get into that. Nope. What happened here? Sorry, Christian with a K wrote in. And I am trying to put his ride in somewhere. Sorry, guys. Okay. the rides. Scott K writes in, start the day right with a blast off on Space Mountain. Monica writes in, Space Mountain, visit doesn't feel complete without it. Reyes says Space Mountain is my must. Alex P and Jacob A both say Space Mountain, which is a very simple ride, and they did not add to that, but maybe that says more by saying less. And Kimmy writes in, I'm going to say on behalf of both of us, since it's been back, I'll make the effort to do single rider Space Mountain. Space Mountain is just perfect. It's got the perfect music, the thrills, the speed, the wind, the visuals. If you could do one thing, you got to do Space Mountain, because when you leave, you just feel so good that you did it. When people ask what you did, if you just say, I just went on Space Mountain, they go, yes, I understand. That's all you needed, isn't it? And it really is all you need. You just need Space Mountain. Double whammy if you could monorail out too. But yes, Space Mountain, absolute necessity of Disneyland, especially because single rider is back. You could just go on, right? And the true spirit of bare necessities is single rider, right? You just want to get on the ride. Your friends don't matter, right? Your who you're next to doesn't matter. You just need to go on that ride. And Space Mountain is that ride for sure. Christian with a K writes in, this is the earlier ride and not what I just pasted. He says, I think it's Indy for me now. Used to be Space Mountain 100%, but I love the changes to Indy. Yeah, I have not seen the new changes, but I totally get this. Indy was a really big one for Kimmy when Disneyland first reopened. And it's a lot of people's favorite because it's a really unique ride. I think because it breaks down so often, it gives it this, like, you don't think about it. But yeah, Indy is really special, right? Because it's the only one. The other one is Dinosaur, and no one cares about that. But yes, good choice for Indy. Sebastian writes in, for Disneyland, it's Mr. Toad's. And this is also Reyes' backup if Space Mountain is not open. Kevin also says Mr. Toad. That's his favorite ride. Mr. Toad is all reliable. It's such a good ride. It's such a good Fantasyland dark ride. It's unique, of course, because Walt Disney World doesn't have it anymore. It's old school. You know, it's based off of a movie and I guess a book, right? That no one's probably seen. I've seen it, but it's on Disney Plus. Everyone, Ichabod and Mr. Toad, separate little things that are put together. But yeah, it's a classic, and I think classics are what make Disneyland, right? It's just the old ones, the originals. And I know, not original, but originals from our childhood, let's say. So yeah, I would say if you got to go to Fantasyland, one ride, it's not Peter Pan. It's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. So in the 13th hour, we got these write-ins. And I think that's very appropriate because Jimmy S. and Juan M. both say Haunted Mansion. And Joey A. says, well, Juan M. also says Pirates. And Joey A. says, my number one is riding Pirates and Haunted Mansion back to back at night just before the park closes. So let's start with Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion, see, it doesn't have a cult following because that means small. It has a cult-like following. People love Haunted Mansion. And, I chose Space Mountain. But if you say what's more Disneyland, right? If you're just breaking it down, Haunted Mansion or Space Mountain, I'm going to probably say Haunted Mansion because it is classic. The time period it's in is also old. It's in New Orleans Square. It's very classy. it's a, we have movies or whatever, but those don't really matter. It's unfazed by the movies. And when it's not friggin' Nightmare Before Christmas, Haunted Mansion is something you got to do, right? I know people who are freaked out by ghosts and demons, all that kind of stuff. They still go on Haunted Mansion because it's so good. It's silly, it's spooky, and you get to take a ghost home with you. But Pirates is so good that Erica G says, I can ride Pirates 100%, could walk in, ride in, and walk out. And Adrian says, Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't care what else we do. That has to be done. And that's probably why we waited an hour and 20 minutes in that queue. Emily M says ride Pirates of the Caribbean, and Ozzy also says Pirates of the Caribbean. She wrote something else in, but this is America's favorite ride. Pirates it's kind of like Space Mountain, and like if that's all you did, it's great. It's like 10 minutes long. It's got everything, right? It's got a little bit of a thrill. It's got a story. If you're wondering what the story is, Kimmy first wrote in, I think like episode 18. Go check that out. And because we did episode 17 on Pirates. And the animatronics, out of this world. There's so many of them. They're the old school ones, but there's a bajillion of them. And Pirates is it's just a good time. You don't want to get stuck at the end, of course, but it's got the music. It's again one of those classics that Disneyland is all about. And we probably have the best one. I know Shanghai's is, ridiculous. You should look into that. But yeah, Disneyland's all about the classics, and those are the bare necessities of life, really. And yeah, I know I sound like I'm at a loss for words for Pirates, but why wouldn't you ride Pirates? Right? If there's no wait for it, especially, you don't really have an excuse for not doing it. So, ride Pirates. It's a good time, and it really will like solidify that Disneyland trip for you. Gina writes in, with what probably was the bare necessity for me and Kimmy up until Space Mountain Single Rider came back, Big Thunder Mountain. This was the least favorite mountain of Disneyland, but it's because nothing about it is crazy, but nothing about it is bad. Big Thunder Mountain it's like what a train is, right? It's solid. It's dependable. It's reliable. That's the same as dependable. It is just like, it's a roller coaster, and it's a good time. It's very simple, right? It's not trying to pull anything on you. And I guess it's one of those, I forget how much I appreciate it until I go on, because it's so good. It's so well-rounded, I guess. And it's another one of those rides where if it's all I did, I'd be okay with it. Like if I went to Disneyland and all I did was go on It's a Small World, I love It's a Small World, but I wouldn't feel right about it. So, but Big Thunder, not like that. So good choice, Gina. But Ryan writes in with what may have been my second choice, Winnie the Pooh. I don't like not going on Winnie the Pooh because we found like this new love for Winnie the Pooh, me through Kingdom Hearts and Rain with Brandy. And it's so pleasant. I went on it last time I was there because the wait time's usually low. It's just so fun. It's whimsical. And that's what Winnie the Pooh is all about. So, yeah, gotta love Winnie the Pooh. I did forget to mention a little earlier, but Andrea's number one thing is that she has to go on Pirates. I had to ask her for this. I didn't reach out to people individually, but it would feel weird that everyone wrote in and Andrea didn't. So thank you, Andrea, for adding that to our show. But I did reach out to RJ, and RJ says individually, as an individual, I got to go on Splash no matter the weather. I am surprised Ozzy didn't write in with Splash Mountain. But yes, I've been going on it more lately. Splash Mountain, and probably whatever it turns into, is you're never not going to have fun on Splash, right? You may be mad that you're soaked at the end, but it's spectacular. And I totally get that. But let's move on to DCA. For me, I think I surprised myself with this pick, but it's The Little Mermaid. I love that ride. It's good when it's cold out. It's good when it's hot out. It's great when it's hot out. But it's a good little reprieve. It's a good little getaway to go on this slow-moving ride with great music, an actual good story. The visuals are good, right? It doesn't look too dated or anything. It doesn't look fake. I mean, the Ursula animatronic is awesome. But yeah, I would say The Little Mermaid is often the only thing I go on at DCA, and I'm totally okay with that. But for rain, it's Soarin'. And I assume Soarin' over California. If it's there, you got to do it, right? Because it's not always there. But yes, Oscar writes in, Soarin' in honor of the late, great Kobe Bryant. This was the most unexpected thing I've read. His favorite ride, he says Kobe's favorite ride. So he also continues, me and my buddy always make an effort to try and hop on as often as possible. I mean, you don't need a good reason. You don't need any reason to go on Soarin' over California. Soarin' around the world, you got to convince me. But Soarin' over California, yes, that was the must. That is the whole point of DCA, I'm going to say, is Soarin' over California. Amanda writes in, though, a must do every time I visit is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission. She wrote Outbreak, but it's Breakout. I haven't heard this one before. It was Tower of Terror for a lot of people, but I mean, good for you. That's a good pick. I guess I'm never itching to go on it, but if you like Guardians and you like that drop, yeah, it's a great ride. And yeah, I could see people going to DCA just to get on that, grab a drink, go home. You know, that would be a good time. And Breeze writes in with another surprising one. The Fun Wheel of Death, 100%. I assume he means the swinging ones, but yeah, that's the Pixar Pal Around, as it's called now, is DCA's icon. It's not Grizzly Peak anymore. So, yeah, that is a good pick. That is a good pick. I should go on it more often, for sure. If you like the swinging gondola, let me know. We'll go on. Maybe for a Hollywood Lounge happy hour, which we haven't done. If you guys are interested in a Hollywood Lounge happy hour during the week, DM us. Let us know what day is good, and we'll make it happen. This week has been oddly booked, though, with like reservations. Let's get into the Disneyland schnacks. Will L writes in, Dole Whip and Jungle Cruise for Disneyland or Walt Disney World. I'll let him have this one because that's a great combo. It's been a while since I've had a Dole Whip because it's mobile order only. There's a line. But yeah, Dole Whip is one of the schnacks of Disneyland. That was like episode 14 or something crazy like that. But yeah, go check that out for amateur hour on Trammin. But yes, Dole Whip is not completely unique to Disneyland, but pretty unique. And it's another one of those things that's never disappointed. But yeah, if that's one of those, I must get a Dole Whip every time. I understand, man. I do. Especially with Jungle Cruise right after. That's the Wombo combo. Nicole says a pretzel and Splash Mountain. I let her have this one too. But yeah, the pretzels. We've been talking about this lately with the classic snacks. There's just so much out there that these things like get neglected because I love the Mickey pretzels. There's something about them. I think the eyes are the best part, right? The pretzels are just, yeah, you're at a theme park. Get a pretzel, you know? So I cheated a little bit with the snacks. My favorite snack is the bao. It's been a long time since we've brought up the baos on the show because we've had the Festival of Holidays, Lunar New Year, the Food and Wine Festival, Disney 100, and it's been a long time since I've just had a bao. But and I think there's like a newish one that I haven't even tried. So I guess I got to do that. But yes, the baos, absolutely delicious items. And you need to go get a bao. You need to walk into Disneyland, wait for the fireworks to go off, go grab a bao, late night snack. It's a pocket of warmth. It is a hug. Christine C writes in, with, I believe, the only write-in about this thing. Getting a churro, whether it be one of their seasonal churros or the plain churro. I don't know why when I read this, I kind of paused and I was like, the churro is so important to people with Disneyland. Especially, I mean, I know she goes a lot, but when people bring up, I miss Disneyland, I need to go back. I want to smell pirates and I want to eat a churro. And I think those are some of the most important things you could do at Disneyland. You know, I didn't even think of the smell. I haven't thought of the smell. But yes, churros, pirates, like that's like you start to paint a picture. You're like, I go to Disneyland, I get a churro, I hop on pirates, I watch the fireworks. You know, that I totally get that. So yeah, just shout out to the churros. That was going to be the post that asked for like what's your bare necessity, because I knew at least one person, you got to go get the churro. Sarah R writes in though, the beignets. I have said Jazz Kitchen has the better ones, right? But I get this too. It's funny how, like, you know, we just got our Mickey ride, but we love the Mickey things, right? We have the Mickey ears, the Mickey ice cream bar. And this is another one of those things. It's a Mickey-shaped beignet. And I think that's part of what makes them special. The powders, the different powders, the fact that you can share them. They're very light, too. Like, they're fried, but they're not death, you know? And, yeah, I could see beignets being someone's go-to. I always like, you know, when you go to Disneyland with someone you haven't been with before. Is that a sentence? And they tell you what they have to do, right? For my friend Heather, it's always, I need to get a corn dog. Like, we need to stop at some point and I need to get one, right? And, you know, for some people it's a beignet and that's cool too. And for some people, there weren't any write-ins about this, but it's popcorn. And I think it's really cool that we all have these different things. And it's almost like asking someone, what does Disneyland mean to you, right? And that's kind of what this is. It's like, I got to do this thing. That's my make or break. Like, I need it. And it doesn't really matter what it takes. I'm going to do that. But Rain's a simple guy. And for Rain, it's the pickle. The pickle is such a classic that there is a button for it. If you buy the first pickle of the day, you get a little button. You got to walk, don't run, to the little stand at the, it's like they used to sell flowers there on Main Street. And if you buy the first pickle, they'll let you know. I haven't had one of those in a long time, though. And I feel like we got to have like a classics tour of Disneyland for us to just get such things. Or at least me. Rain is all about the classics. He likes old reliables, and I think there's something to be said about that. Let's have some snacks in DCA. For me, I've been bending the rules a little bit. It's the cookie shop, which has been gone for a while. This is at the Grand Californian, but Michael Eisner did say the Grand Californian is located inside of a Disney park, so I think this counts. The waffle shot has been around lately. I have not tried it, but the cookie shot, when it's around, I need it. I need that thing. I don't know if there is not a better dessert than a chocolate chip cookie, and having the shot glass be a chocolate chip cookie and putting some sort of milk inside is just awesome. So bring it back. But Vicky writes in with, this isn't my favorite write-in because Dane's was funny or just hilarious. But this is like I think I appreciate this write-in the most. Butter pecan ice cream and a chocolate dipped waffle cone from Clarabelle's after a long day. That is so specific, and I love it. And I love it because there's butter pecan, right, which has no chocolate, but the waffle cone needs the chocolate, right? You always need the hint of chocolate in the dessert. And ice cream is such a childhood type thing, and ice cream's so wonderful. So, yeah, this is a great thing. This is another one of those things, like, I'm going to put this on my list of, like, I got to try what the listeners are doing, right? There's something to it for sure. So this sounds like an easy, like, yes, I will get this thing. Sounds good. Thank you for throwing that in there. But something Jeff P does before he leaves is buying churro toffee. Churro toffee is a wonderful take-home dessert because it keeps very well in the fridge. It gives you that little taste of Disneyland with the churros, right? And sorry, guys, I was just double checking the Discord that you should join. The churro toffee is, I mean, just go try it. Come on, trust me, go try it. This is a necessity. Go try the churro toffee. Go grab a couple of them, toss them in the fridge, eat them slowly. Rain did not put anything for the DCA snack. I'm going to let him have pickle and pineapple for each one, right? Like, DCA sells. I don't know if DCA sells pickles. Whatever. I'll let him have it. Shout out to Rain. Raven says something she must do is pick up a sweet snack. She wrote snack, and I appreciate that. She says lately it's been the cream cheese filled pretzel. Yeah, the cream cheese filled pretzel that's surprisingly one of the OGs. Just the plain ones. Pretty good. Pretty good. I am more partial to the jalapeno cheddar myself. The cream cheese pretzel, I know people just get that often. Who was it that wrote in that said their wife needs to get it every time? I don't remember. But shout out to the cream cheese pretzel. Let's get into what I'm going to call some marvelous miscellany. Joel writes in, always got to check out the shops for random merch that comes out. This used to be something I needed to do. I used to wander through the shops, World of Disney, Main Street. Russian River Outfitters was a big one for me. Because you just want to see what's new. And it used to be like pins for me, T-shirts, Christmas especially. If this was a Christmas episode, I need to check out the merch. Like I will look at every single thing they have for sale. But yeah, this is a good pull. You gotta go look if you wanna go rep the new stuff, the cool stuff. Hey, you gotta check out the merch. Louisa writes in, Fantasyland when going in the nighttime, especially the last 2 hours before closing. Yeah, Fantasyland at night is very magical. There's no one there. All the babies went home. You could exit through the castle. You can go on the carousel, which is a wonderful thing to do before you leave. But yeah, is there anything more Disneyland than like Fantasyland and a little bit of Main Street, right? Makia writes in for the first time. Welcome to the TramFam. She says, I have to walk through Galaxy's Edge. This is something that this, like in my blue milk heydays, was a necessity. I love Galaxy's Edge, and I think things have been just so weird lately that I've forgotten to just walk through. But yeah, guys, take a stroll through Galaxy's Edge late at night. It feels, Galaxy's Edge, 11 p.m., feels real. I don't know what it is. I think it's empty. You hear the sounds more. Go check it out. It's an important thing that you need to do. For America, her number one thing is the pin trade. Now, I want to know, America, are you still trading pins? I see people do it, but I also don't. It's always been scary for me. I think for Rain too. But yeah, go trade some pins. But yeah, I miss hunting for pins. I think it's just over for me. But Lorcana's next, I guess. And RJ said, as a group, leaving a cast member compliment. So this is more of a app thing now, which is less fun. But yeah, that's a really cool thing to do. Or a cast member really made your day, you can make their day, right? You can go let management know that they made some extra magic for you and did their job above and beyond others. But if they let you cut in line, don't leave that as a compliment. Just trust me. But JD writes in, and he says he just wants to enjoy the day no matter what happens and to try something new, let it be a ride, food, or experience. And in that same spirit, Eduardo says, remind myself that I'm lucky to be here. Not everyone lives close or can afford the parks, but just remind myself of that every time I step through those gates. But yeah, what does Disneyland mean to you? What is important about Disneyland to you? And what do you appreciate the most, right? And for some of us, it's rides, some of us, it's food, some of us, it's just looking at things, right? Walking through places. And I think when it comes down to it, Disneyland means something different to each of us. And I think it's nice that it's not just a ride for everyone, right? It's not just fireworks for everyone. It's not. I think it's something to keep in mind when you wonder why there's this thing, why is there a crowd for the parade? Why is the parade blocking my route, right? Why is this line for food so long? I just want water, like why are there so many people lined up for Casey Jr.? And I think it's just because all of us have different experiences with Disneyland. We've grown up with Disneyland in different ways. We've all been touched by Disneyland in different ways. And I think that's kind of what dictates what we need to get out of the parks each time, right? And, sometimes it's Animation Academy. Sometimes it is watching a parade. Sometimes it's walking through the Grizzly Peak Trail. And I think it's really cool that, for some people, something they would never think to do could be could be someone else's most important thing to do. And thank you all for helping us get through this solo episode, which is not done yet. And, thank you all for participating, sharing what's special to you. And please continue to do that on Instagram and trammin.com/ask. But yes, Eduardo, we are lucky to be here. So it is time for We Have It So Good, where we in the Tram Fam talk about our trips to Disneyland and what's bringing us joy lately. Right in with your trip recaps at trammin.com/ask. So Reyes writes in, we have it so good that I'm finally writing in after a long absence. Sunday, I had a trip planned with my sister. Did not have much planned, but we did want to go on Indy and Matterhorn. Started off the day at DCA and headed straight to Soarin', which was only 15 minutes. It was Soarin' over California. Lucky you. Then we were both pretty hungry and the booths weren't fully open, so we decided to go to Lamplight for brunch. Been once, but my sister hadn't, and she was very impressed. We ordered the mimosa flight, brunch burger, and the potato flautas. All great choices. Everything tasted great. I did order an open ocean to go, but I might order that mango mimosa to go next time. After that, we went over to Disneyland to go hit up Indy and Matterhorn. Made our way in line when Indy proceeded to shut down. Waiting for maybe 10 minutes, we decided to go on Matterhorn single rider. Took us about 6 minutes total. Capped off a bobsled with Robin in the front and me in the back. Really? That's lucky. It's lucky. That happens a lot with Matterhorn. But he says, took us about 6 minutes total. Oh, wait, I read that already. Let's regroup. He continues. Walked through the new Toontown to take in the vibes. Then we met up with some friends from my work at Pepper's Caliente. Our friends enjoyed both the empanada and the camarones. Hung out with them for a bit. We were getting warm, so we both bathed in Grizzly Peak's living waters. This is the way. We did not get soaked and dried off relatively quickly. Love that ride. Can't wait for summer now. Walked around DCA a bit more, and we called it a day. Unfortunately, we forgot the sip and savor pass, but not to worry. Coming back to finish off our 4 tabs. We have it so good. He says, cut down a ton. You can chew my A out if there's grammar corrections. LOL. Work's been busy this week. Reyes, this was a great write-in. I think I gave you too much of a hard time, and I don't even know why. I thought we went to school together, and I learned that we didn't. But I guess, yeah. Thank you for writing in. Thank you for that fun trip. Sounds awesome, and I'm glad you had a good time. I didn't see any. There's a typo with flautas, but that's okay. I wouldn't have caught it. But you did great. Christian with the K writes in. We have it so good. Went to the parks Friday and Saturday this past weekend. When we got there on Friday, we tried the big rides in Disneyland. Rise of the Resistance and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. But both broke down right as we decided to get in line. So we decided to just go eat at Food and Wine instead. I very much enjoyed the mule. Once mixed up, it was a lovely drink. Yeah, you got to mix that thing. The sirloin and mac were both very good from Garlic Kissed, and the shrimp from Pepper's Caliente was actually hot. Good on you, Disney. On Saturday, we used Genie Plus again, and we were able to do 15 rides plus a dinner reservation at Blue Bayou. Steak and fish were both amazing. I also got the peaches and cream tea drink from Kat Saka's Kettle, and that was a 10 out of 10 drink. Better than the blue milk. Ooh, them's fighting words. We're out of the parks at 8:30, a 12-hour day in total on Saturday. Can't wait to go back, but I have no idea when that will be. I feel every time someone says that, it's very soon. Kevin writes in. Went to Carthay Circle Restaurant. I got the duck. That duck put hands on the one from Napa Rose. Way better. Got the potato croquettes, and those are really good. Mashed potatoes or basura. Oh, I thought he had a great trip. I guess I missed that one. Pim's Punch. Put a little great emoji. America got the pork chop. She said it was really good. She said the same about the mashed potatoes. I'd rather go there again than Napa Rose. About to try the chimney sweep, so stand by for that. And then he sent another message. Chimney sweep was good, but too sweet. I also want to say that I hate the way they changed the Jazz Kitchen. So, 1, glad you finally had a good dinner experience. 2, yes, the chimney sweep, it is a little sweet. It's a nice dessert. Goes down easy. You could share that thing. Mix it up. Okay, Jazz Kitchen. I think it needed a change, but not the change we got. And that's all I'll say for now until I try it again. And I pulled this out of Raven's write-in. She said, I recently tried the Polystarch Puff Bread in Galaxy's Edge. 10 out of 10, my new snack. Got to try that too. I got to go more. I got to go more often. But it'll happen. So, if you're wondering what time it is, it's
pizza time.
It's time for one last bite. I was planning on saying, Rain, as always, what is the best food you ate this week? But he said he didn't eat much food this week. So I will do mine. So I got beer battered chicken tenders from Barley Mash in San Diego's Gaslamp Quarter with Kimmy. This was 6 wonderfully crispy chicken tenders, I believe, because they're very juicy, over a bed of fries that were kind of like In-N-Out fries with a ton of seasoning. And there was like this amazing herb ranch, best ranch I've had in my life. Homemade ketchup, it was okay. Some good barbecue sauce and buffalo. Guys, this was 6 chicken tenders for $21. We split this thing and we were full afterwards. Absolutely delicious. Rain's right. Sometimes you just can't go wrong with the chicken tenders. The drink, I think it was called Veronica's Corningstone. I don't know what it was. It was like a flowery lemon drink. And I mean, come on. Those are great. But the sweet, my number one sweet, was also my just number one item of this week. Oh, honorable mention 2 tacos from also the Gaslamp Quarter, and some really good pizza from Prince Street Pizza. But sorry, number one drink was the Mocha Buzz from Better Buzz. Better Buzz is like Kimmy's and her sister's go-to in the San Diego area. Supposedly one's opening up in Laguna. But this was basically a mocha frappuccino. I added oat milk. And for like $1, you can add chocolate-covered espresso beans that they grind in there. Guys, this was spectacular. It probably wouldn't have been good without the espresso beans. But yeah, Better Buzz is very cool. I hope there's one nearby so I could just try like regular things, because I always try some wacky thing when we go because it's so far away. But yeah, had some good eats. San Diego's cool, I will say that. And yeah, looking forward to trying the taco stand this next week. Yeah, I wonder what my bare necessity is for food, though. I don't think I have one. But you can never go wrong with tacos, right? So with that, thank you all for listening. We'll see you real soon. Bye.
Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit to the Disneyland Resort. Please lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the driver's right-hand side only.